Hail, hail! Welcome to a Celtic World. We are a YouTube channel that celebrates the worldwide support of our famous club. On this show, we focus on the North American side of things. So, from Maine to Michigan, from North Carolina to North Dakota, we're all part of a Celtic World. Tonight, we got Chris with us. Chris from Bell Buckle. What's going on?
Just
And
living the dream.
yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a good bitch fest tonight. And then we got Jason. Jason from Columbus Boys. How you doing,
gentlemen?
Hey, Jason.
We've been better.
Yeah. So, I mean, first things first. The match is fresh in our heads. I mean, for me, it was just brutal. Like I felt like, and listening to Brendan's interviews after, like first half, like we were sluggish and just I don't think like ready for it and to take on the challenge because I do feel like we went into it thinking like 3-0 is what we need to bring back, at least 2-0, bring back to Kazakhstan next week. And I don't know, they just weren't up for it. Chris, what did you think?
I mean, I was lucky enough that I was audio only for Celtic TV, so it was good that I didn't have to see it, but like just listening to it. I mean, I visually saw it in my head, and I mean, it's the backwards play, it's the sideways passing. You move the ball good up and down the wings, things look good. Da 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 da. Final ball doesn't land, bounces off. We have to regroup. I mean, it's just a constant, struggle, and where we are now is where we shouldn't be, right? Like we should have handled tonight a lot better because, like you said, 3-0 was kind of what I was thinking. Like, yeah, to feel comfortable going to Kazakhstan. I mean, 3-0 is what we needed, and we didn't get it, and it didn't land, and it's this is not the first time that we've had to do this kind of stuff, but we're going to have to do more of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's been a while with getting the kind of automatic qualification for these last few years. So, and I remember what was it, Sean Kelly a few weeks ago talking about. I remember him saying like how nervous he gets on these occasions, and I think I kind of forgot about it almost, like how rough it can be. Uh, Jay, where did you watch today? Did you go to the club or?
I was surreptitiously second screening at my place of employment. If anybody saw me white knuckling it today, it was due to that. Chris nailed it. Final third was a dog pile. It really was. And that's been haunting us all year. We've scored 7 goals, 0 from strikers. 0 at this point in time, and I know that we're probably going to get into that a little bit later. But that just absolutely killed us. Too many square passes, as much as everyone here loves Kalmach to death, he fell into that trap that he loves to do, which is just square balls going left, square balls going right, and nothing going up the pitch.
No, agreed. I mean, I think like Tierney in the first half was able to get a few crosses in, but like nobody ever looked like they were going to get on the end of any cross the whole 90 minutes. Like never felt like it was even close to something happening like that. A few guys got to the end line and tried to put a cross in, but like just in the first half, I mean, Ida was invisible. And Dyson wasn't doing a whole lot. Forrest wasn't really, taking anybody on. I just like the first half was just nothing, like nothing happening.
Forrest had that one shot on goal that was close.
I mean,
but I mean, you can't have a guy my age out there playing on the wing in the year 2025. That's just not the case.
Yeah, I mean, Forrest, that was a great save by the Kairat keeper. Like, got to give him credit there, definitely. But I mean, that's really the only solid solid chance you can think of. I only had 2 attempts on goal, I think I read, but I can't even think of the other one really. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I felt like Yang came on in the second half, and for the first 10, 15 minutes was like looking like the Yang who can beat a guy off the dribble, but then he just kind of died off at the end, and just nothing was happening. Like Rio was, I think, kind of the only guy trying to make shit happen. Like you said, Cal Mack was just in the pass back mode, and just nothing was happening.
I think the name I heard the most was Cameron Carter-Vickers, and I'm like, CCV again.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, he's a center half. We should not be holding the ball that tight. Not against this team.
Well, Joe Boyle in the comments is 100% right. We should have beaten this team tonight handily with the players that we had. It's just like, how many half-hearted attempts are we going to get to make a run in Europe? Like you've got to do this one, and it comes out flat. And Joe's exactly right. We should have beat them off the ball, like at every moment, but we didn't. And so, and instead of me sitting here telling you all the things that we did wrong, I want to at least look forward and go, can we do magic in Kazakhstan? Because I mean, tonight was just a big fat goose egg, and anybody that thinks otherwise is just delusional. I mean, because there's a good chance that we're just not going to make the Champions League, and we're going to drop down to the Europa League. And there's nothing wrong with that, I don't guess. I mean, Big Ange won the Europa League last year. That's fantastic, but we should be in the Champions League. There's no reason to not be in the Champions League. There's zero reasons to not be in the Champions League.
Agreed.
And it's just disappointing. But I mean, I know we're just going to sit here and bitch about it for an hour, which is okay because that's all I can do is just sit here and bitch about it. But Adam Ito, what are you doing? Where were you the first half? He's what, 6'3", 6'4"? How can you miss that guy?
yeah, he's a big strong dude, man. Very frustrating. I do think he's just way down in confidence level right now. And tonight didn't help getting pulled off at halftime, but I think Brendan had to do that. I don't think there was any option to keep him on there because he was doing nothing.
But what are your options if Ita's not gonna cut it, right? What are your options at the moment? Johnny Kinney? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know that's probably going to take us back to the overall main point of the night is the board did not put the club in the best position to advance. It's the typical wait and see, and if we qualify, then we're going to invest in the club, but we're going to wait and see. Yeah. And it's such a backwards way of doing it.
I want the board to basically be on the phone right now, Balakwisha, Stangs, get them both in and just, be like, well, okay, we signed 2 guys. Now it's up to us to just stomp the rest of the league. I think someone pointed out in the chat earlier, moving my guy Yang. I still got my Yang card. Over to the right was the bad move where he doesn't deserve to be. But what other options do we have right now? We don't have wings.
I know. I think that's going to be like you said, we're all going to keep coming back to that point that Brendan had no options, I don't think. And you could see in his interviews after the match, the frustration and they're I think trying to get him to make a comment. And he's just like, I mean, I've said it. I've been saying it for weeks. And what am I going to do? I got to I'm going to stick with my team on the field. But you could tell he's pissed.
So,
yeah.
Chris, you were audio only. Shawnee. So Trusty was playing a little bit of left back tonight. Exactly what was the plan there? Now, I mean, yeah, we can complain about not having a backup to Tierney. We know he doesn't have 90 minutes in him. That's perfectly okay. That argument's been done and dusted a million times. But like literally when Brendan pulled him inside and then Trusty went to left back, I could not figure out what the plan was at this point in time. I mean, Scales, say what you will, but at least he's kind of a left back.
Oh, I felt like they had Scales more. I think they got shifted around a few times, but I think Scales was kind of playing that left back position, but they had a weird formation towards the end. I think Scales was, I mean, Celtic wingbacks are always going to be like way up the field, but again, and we've said it. Yeah, we've said it the last couple of weeks. Like Scales is not like, I feel comfortable moving Scales to left back if we're defending a lead. Like it gives us more size to deal with corners, set pieces, stuff like that. But when you're chasing a goal, like he's not that like prototypical Celtic left back that's gonna cause danger down the wing, and that's what we need. Like, and Tierney does that, but he hasn't been able to give us 90 minutes, and it's hurting us. And I don't know when he will be able to do that.
Well, and then let's also get to the other glaringly obvious thing is that Alistair Johnston goes down.
Yeah.
I mean, like you want to start hitting, I don't want to say hitting panic mode, but like Ralston is your starting right back. Period. Like who else is going to go into right back right now? It's Anthony Ralston.
Oh, definitely.
And that's fantastic for the league, but I mean, in Europe, you've got to have more in the tank. It's just, man, everything around tonight sucked, and it was very frustrating.
I do agree with Mo Sislak that we should like we have enough.
Yes.
To get through this tie.
Yes.
For whatever reason, like we slip up in these games, these kind of ties, and like I'm whatever it is, but I do think the club could have done more to give Brendan more options, and and just to make it more definitive that like, all right, like we're gonna handle this Kazakhstani team, and it's not going to be a worry, but it's always going to be a worry. I feel like at this stage, because we're just come in unprepared, and we're definitely short on options, attacking options, particularly outside of the midfield. I feel like central midfield is pretty strong and solid for me.
Agreed.
It's the attacking options just are struggling to create anything right now. And I don't know.
I mean, yeah, we're 11 deep in center mid right now. I mean, when you're like, when Brendan is defending Paolo Bernardo, like he's saying, like he's a heck of a player. He's just my 6th choice midfielder. I mean, yeah, that's one area we're not necessarily sweating at this point in time.
Yeah, but in terms of like Alistair Johnston going out, like, and especially if it's a hamstring, like those are the kind of injuries that'll linger for a month, 2 months, something like that. And I mean, Ralston's not great. I mean, I'd see a lot of people like on social media. I feel like focus on him and becomes a whipping boy kind of thing. But for me, like backup right back is not as big a concern. I feel like he can come in and be pretty serviceable. Like he's gonna have moments where like things don't go well, but like I don't worry as much about like I know like Johnston is solid in that position outside of getting hurt. Like he's gonna be playing every day for the most part. So I don't know. Maybe if he is out for 2 months, maybe that is a move they make to bring somebody else in. But I'm sure they don't
Well,
have anybody in
it,
mind.
it but it's about the backup though, right? So like if you've only got Anthony Ralston as your backup right now, right? Who's going to back up Anthony Ralston?
Well, that's true. Yeah, and
And you know, if you're looking at it from the standpoint of we need players not only to strengthen the squad, but to be able to come in when asked when somebody gets hurt, like you've got a lot of asks that you've got to take care of, and that's just that, like I wasn't concerned about right back until tonight, but now I'm concerned that AJ is going to be out for a month, 2 months, 3 months even, and he's going to be nursing a hamstring injury. At the same time, you've got Anthony Ralston there, who's going to have to pull 90 minutes every match because who's going to be his backup?
right.
I mean, and Dr. J's right. It's going to be a kid from the B team,
Yep,
and,
100%.
and like there's nothing, I guess, inherently wrong with that. But like, we shouldn't be in that position. But that's just something that's added to the situation we're in now, which is like we've got to find another right back or somebody that can come in and play that role when we need them to.
Right. Yeah, it's a petrifying thought to think that, and hey, I like Ralston. If there's a man who's maximized his ceiling, whatever number that is, he's done it.
Yeah.
He's not the world's greatest player, but man, he will come in and put in a shift. But God forbid he takes a cleat to the knee or something like that. Whew, buddy, we have nobody else at this point in time playing right back besides a B team kid who, I try to keep current on that team. No one's coming to mind, and that's a bit frightening.
Yeah, it's been like that for a while. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, that all being said, and maybe it's the eternal optimist in me, and with Celtic, like even like last year when we lost to Munich in the first leg at home, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like we have a chance, which there's no reason you should go into thinking you have a chance, which we ended up obviously like playing out of our minds that night. But I go into next week relatively confident that we can like win that tie.
Agreed.
That team wasn't overly impressive, other than I feel like they were organized and like shut us down well.
I mean, they time wasted from Jump Street. You saw some early yellows. Their main striker is going to be out for next time. He caught that yellow again, so he's gone now. So pretty confident on that front, man. I guess I just flashed back to like Rosenborg, where we went in and we had to go there and beat them. No, Joe, no, bring back Izzy. But no, buddy. But I mean, hey, we did that. We went to Rosenborg, we won, and we moved on, and that's where my heart lies right now.
Yeah.
No, that's true. And Brendan mentioned that a couple times in the interviews after the match. So
yep,
he's got that in mind definitely. But the kid, the young kid, I thought looked pretty good for them. The kid who's going to Chelsea, you could see like he looked a little dangerous, and the striker, like you said, who's going to be out, looked. I mean, I don't know what he did other than really that trying to chip Casper off his line after CCV.
That was close.
It was
pretty close, man.
But other than that, I mean, but in that type of game, we had all the ball pretty much. So there wasn't a lot of, ability for him, I guess, for him to do stuff. But I do think he played a defensive role a little bit too. So I don't know. What's your thoughts? How do you feel about next week, Chris?
I'm like you. I'm kind of always an eternal optimist. Do I think that we will? Yeah, I do. I think we'll do the business. But will it be closer than it needs to? Absolutely. Like
yeah, 100%.
It's like I mean, it's got the makings of 1-0 all over it. So I mean, we've got to break down some different tactics. More than anything else, though, I think we need players. I think we need to sign some people. I think we need to have some intent. A couple of channels that I get information from have told me that the Belgian kid, the Malosky, or I'm not very good with pronouncing his name, but the guy that starts with an M. He's apparently going to go get a medical. So if that happens, that may give us another option, kind of going forward. But should we do the business next week? Absolutely. Is there a chance that it's going to be closer than it will be? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm like 70-30 confident. Like that's just where I am, because I mean, you've got Celtic Park there tonight that you should have won handily. Like that should have been something that should have happened. Like that Celtic Park should have been the most intimidating place in the world to play, and apparently it just it wasn't, for whatever reason. And so the things are going to happen, but we're going to move on. Everything's going to be all right.
Agreed. Jay, what do you think?
Nailed it. I think our good friend Badip over there. It's going to be tight and probably going to end up like a 1-1 away goal through. My boy Engels smacks one in from distance, something along those lines. Who knows? Just as long as we get through, and then the board decides to get the thumb out and invest a little bit, take a little bit of this league time to build some players up, get them in, get them going.
Yeah, I think you're right. We can go back to, and I guess, well, what do you want to do? Talk about Livingston next over the weekend, or go back to some positivity to Falkirk on Friday?
Let's talk about that Falkirk magic, baby. 4-1.
It was good to get some goals, definitely. And going back to the Friday, I love a Friday midday match, like for us here, like a 2:45 it was. Start the weekend early. Like you, I was, Jay, I was working.
Half days CSC over here, baby.
Open the computer while I'm working. Can't beat it.
Well, one of us can do that, babe. I'll tell you what. 4 goals scored. Every goal scored by a Celt or former Celt. Celt is, Liam Henderson was ours at one point in time. Dane Murray, the gigantic human being who blew the same ACL out twice, comes back from 2 years off to score a goal and look pretty solid in defense. Against Falkirk, but still, he
looked good. Scoring a goal on the day he signs a contract extension too, which was nice.
Goes a long way.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're always in control of that, and I feel like Falkirk. I mean, and I think I texted you about it, Chris, saying I like Scottish Premiership teams that actually try to play football against us, and Falkirk does that. But
for sure,
they're not going to be long. They're not going to be long in the league if they continue to play like that. I feel like.
Yeah, no, they were going for it, and hats off to them that want to do that. They don't want to sit behind the ball. I mean, that's not a fun way to play.
No,
so hats off to them for wanting to do that. But like it plays into our advantage every time teams do that. They it usually plays into our advantage. But I don't know, man. I'm with you. Friday nights, matches, in Scotland where you can knock off at like 1:45, 2 o'clock, something like that, and like I didn't start drinking or anything, but like I at least had the match on, and
Just me.
I was still trying to work, and so I mean it's a good way to kind of end the work week, really.
No, I loved it.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's rare, very rare. They don't come up very often, so it was nice. I mean, I like those games too, like those getting to see different guys too, like in that Falkirk match.
For sure.
Sinisalo, I thought, and I think he's great. So I hope we see more of him even in the league. Even I think he's very. I mean, I like Casper. I think he fell off towards the end of last year, but I don't know. In terms of backup goalkeepers, I can't think of a better one we've had over the last 5-10 years at least. Like he's solid, and like Jay said, like getting to see Dane Murray and got to see a little more of Yamada, and like when we saw him tonight too. But I love those games, like those, especially the early cup games, like where he's gonna give some guys a run out, especially knowing we got a midweek Champions League game to look forward to.
Well, not to go backwards here, but like why was Shin Yamada not used tonight?
He came on at the end for probably last 15 minutes,
okay.
maybe?
About 15. Yeah, about 15 minutes.
Okay, so that was something I missed in audio.
Yeah.
So
No, it's all right.
Apologies.
He I don't know. He does look fast. Like I think Chris, you said it like one time we were texting, like him and Dyson in a race. Like I don't know if he's as fast as Dyson, but he does look like he's got some speed.
Well, I think it was Jerry McCullough. It could have either been at Falkirk or somebody. Him or Peter Grant had talked about whether Dyson Maeda and Shin Yamada would, like, who would win in a race, and they and like some of the players were actually saying, like, Shin Yamada could possibly get Maeda, and I'm like, no way, not that jungle cat. That guy, like Dyson Maeda runs so I can't talk.
One more time, baby.
He runs so fluid that it just it's poetry, right? And to have somebody else that might be that fast, use him as much as possible. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, I agree. He had moments tonight where he had looked a little dangerous, more so than Ida, definitely, and even like Dyson when he was playing up top for the first 25 minutes, 30 minutes of the second half. Wasn't creating much himself. I think Yamada came on and probably going up against tired defenders. Maybe that, gives you a bit of a leg up. And especially if you do have that speed, he did get behind a couple times on guys, but I don't know. I do want to see more of him. Like when starting Johnny Kenny over the weekend, he's decent, but I don't think he's ever a first or second tier Celtic striker for me. I think Yamada has the potential to be something. So I would have rather see more of him on Friday against Falkirk, but just my opinion.
I think Yamada is one of those guys that you want him coming in later in the match, especially when he's young like this. I mean, Japanese young, I guess is the best way to put it, because, of course, those guys all go through college. Get him out there against his tired legs, let him use his speed to break it down. He was heavy on his first touch tonight, but I mean, again, we can preach how big of a mess it was tonight all night long about him not getting service or whatever. But put him out there, let him run onto the ball, let him go full speed against some tired SPL level legs, and just get that confidence, that experience built up. I think that's a heck of an idea that you had there.
Just looking at the comments, there's a lot of talk about signing Jamie Vardy. I don't know what you think about that.
I don't know. I don't know, man. You know, I've read that stuff every day. It just like, I don't know, man. The guy's like, he's 38, right? I don't know. I don't know.
No, I agree. I think that's one of those like kind of convenient rumors, like that, like he played for Brendan, so like you're gonna make that kind. It's like us always sign every year. We're gonna sign Patty Roberts, and got like I feel like those are like easy rumors to latch onto, and I don't know how much truth there is, but I'm agree. I'm not down with signing a 38-year-old striker.
I have 3 words for you, boys. That's Joseph Anthony Barton. I mean, we don't need. I'm going to come up to the SPL and put it in my pocket, and Brown ruined him the first match. We do not need him. Invest in the future. I don't need old fellas out here running around.
No, I agree. I'd rather see young guys like get that spot, but
I don't think that we're going to sign him. I just don't think so. But I don't know why we would want that. Like, why would you want that? Like, I'm with you that we should be looking for the future. We should be looking for the young players that have talent that we can develop, that we can run through the system. I would much rather take a gamble on more of an unknown than somebody that is going to do a Joey Barton.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I hate reading about it. Like, to be honest with you, man, I hate this time of year just because of how many rumors and how much bullshit gets said about this player doing this, and it's just, oh man, it's relentless.
I mean, for those of us who are of a certain age and remember 6 very painful months of Roy Keane in a Celtic jersey with knees full of gravel. Man, I don't need that again. I don't need that.
Well,
that's no.
No, I agree. It doesn't fit with the Celtic business model of bringing in young guys who you can sell on either. Like that's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they'll bring in loan guys with like the kid from Man City who they don't have the option to buy at the moment. A lot of times they'll bring in guys like that who they might be able to buy afterwards. Or if you bring in like this kid looks super talented, so to just get him for 1 year is like fine. Otherwise, it's signing young guys and trying to sell them on for a profit. Complain about the board all you want, and I'll complain. They do, I guess, the business end of it, the balance sheet CSC part, like they do a good job with that, I suppose. But they make us sweat out these Champions League playoff qualifiers,
which we shouldn't have to.
No, we definitely shouldn't have to. We should be able to get through them. These, like a team like today, we should be able to get through without, but make it definitive. Like bring in a few guys that will, solidify everything before you get to this round, and then. But
agreed.
I digressed. So let me just take a quick second to play a little subscribe clip that Gab put together. 2 seconds.
Hello, lovely boys. I love the Celtic world. I do. Absolutely brilliant. If you haven't already, subscribe immediately.
I swear he's fucking with us with these things, but
solid.
Yeah. So then in terms of, I guess, looking forward to the weekend versus Livingston on Saturday, right? I think. What time is it on Saturday? Do you know?
10 a.m.
Absolutely.
Eastern.
That's not bad.
10
Nice.
a.m. I know, right? Right. Even our West Coast friends get to actually wake up at a reasonable hour. So,
We at home or we away?
we're home, right? I think I should know this. I think it's home.
I don't. Yeah, I don't look at it until day of.
I know Huns are away, so usually when they're away, we're home. But they're at St. Mirren, I know, so which will be a tough one for them. But in terms of Livingston, I feel like we'll probably go back to like we'll see a few changes in the starting lineup. I think you might see like Engels and McCallum maybe getting a start, or at least one of those two guys with maybe Engels in place of Negrin. I don't know. Ralston probably definitely gonna get a start because we don't have
Go ahead.
anybody else.
pencil that one in now. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that if there's one name on the sheet besides McGregor, it's Ralston.
No,
So,
agreed.
yeah.
But so I don't know. Hopefully it's one of those like we come out, we got something to prove, after a shitty performance in the Champions League playoff qualifier. What do you think, Chris?
I mean, I guess it depends on how much running the team's going to have to do between tomorrow and Friday. Of who you're going to see, because I mean there needs to be some fire in the belly, because we take this for granted a lot of times that the Champions League is kind of what we try to aim for every year, right? We've got to be at least in the group stage of the Champions League. We need to go further in Europe, but we need to be at least in the group stage of the Champions League year in, year out, right? That's the standard. Well, just below that is you need to win the league. Like you can't let consistency drop. You've got to be consistent and win those games against Livingston, the St. Mirrens. Like the league is always going to be the focus year in, year out. That's my opinion. Is that the league is more important than whatever we do in Europe. And that's not to say that Europe's not important, because it is. But I think we'll take care of business. I think there will be some changes, like you said. I think you'll get McCowan in there. Quite honestly, Kasper Schmeichel, I wouldn't mind Sinisalo starting in like a Champions League role, being the starting number one, because I do think that Sinisalo is that good of a keeper, and sometimes Kasper is just kind of he's slow, and whether that's good or bad, I mean he's still a solid keeper, but I think we need to be looking forward and looking forward to Livingston. I think we can iron some things out, and hopefully we get some players in, and we can just go from there and build from it.
Yeah, even getting play, like I do think there's going to be stuff happening, especially after today's performance, in terms of bringing players in, and sure, even if they can't play next week in the qualifier, just getting that new blood in the door can, I think, kind of light a fire under everybody else in the side, like especially if it's guys who are playing in that position. Like, all right, I gotta step my shit up, and I don't know.
I think if we had run out 3-0 today, it would be a little different. But now we're going to rest a bunch of people on the weekend, because we're going to have to. We can't risk them for just getting a knock, getting a cleat in the ankle, or anything else. So JSP and Trusty dropping in defense. I got a special place in my heart for Tierney. I think we all do at this point in time. I guess it's Scales on the left then, whether it be Engels, Bernardo, McCown, get somebody else in there in that midfield, change it up a little bit, and then up top, just throw a bunch of stuff up there and see what sticks. We should be able to get past these guys even on that front.
Agreed.
No, I agree. But and like Chris said, like the league is always going to be the most important thing. So I do think, I mean, there is kind of that you gotta work it both ways and have your strongest side out there on those Champions League qualifiers like today. But like within full mind that like you got to get those 3 points on the weekend. Like it's and we have enough in the tank to do it. We had enough in the tank to do it tonight, but for whatever reason, like it didn't happen.
Another player that I want to see probably more of, which you were alluding to earlier about KT, is that like Inamura, right? I don't know what his actual role is, but if he can step in at left back and give either Scales a breather or leave Scales at center back or whatever, I think that might be a player for the future, because the times that I've seen him, like, he passes the ball fantastically well. I mean, he's quick on his feet, but I don't know how much game experience he has. I think that's the biggest issue, is that playing in Scotland is different than playing in other leagues, in that it's a lot more physical, and that was something that occurred tonight, is that we're such a physical team because we have to be in Scotland, that when we come up against a Champions League team that can, I don't want to say fall down easily, but fall down easily, like that, just like it killed the game. That's what I took from anything today, was that they were trying to kill the game off well before anything else, just from falling down or wasting time or whatever, and that just frustrates us. And that's what I want to see kind of going forward, is that for Champions League games, we need to think about it differently than we think about like when we're setting up for Livingston, because our B team should be able to get out there. Our quote unquote B team should be able to take care of Livingston on the weekend, but it's how we approach the Champions League and how we set up for it, and how we do things consistently. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Without a doubt, and I think that you brought up a very good point. I mean, this might be a time, give Sinisalo a little chance out there. It allows Schmeichel just to rest and do whatever someone his age needs to do. For me, it's nap. But I mean, yeah, give Sinisalo a 90 out there. He's looked really solid consistently. So
no, I'd be all for that 100%. I mean, for me, and like I said, I do love Schmeichel. I think he's been good for the club. If by the end of the season, Sinisalo was the number one, I'd be happy with that, because I don't know. I feel more confident with him in a lot of cases. Like Schmeichel did have a big save over the weekend, I remember.
Yeah.
But he hasn't had a lot of work to do, really. It didn't have much to do today. There was a couple shots that went wide that he, was all sprawled wide, diving. But beyond that, like, other than being out of position, I mean, it wasn't even out of position. That was just CCV, flubbing the ball. Like Schmeichel was probably where he should have been. But I don't know. I'd be down with him being the starter. I feel like he played well at the end of last year, and I get Schmeichel coming back and getting his job back, but I don't know. I'd be content with him back there. But like you said, if I'm comfortable with like Scales, I do feel like that is a position we need to upgrade. The guy next to CCV, Scales and Trusty have been fine so far. I don't feel like either of them have done anything wrong, really. But I do think there is going to be those moments like where higher level competition and like where they might get shown up as. And that's why I'm curious to see the kid from Man City, JSP. Hope that'd be a good one, maybe to see this weekend against Livingston. a guy that slot in with CCV or maybe like him and Scales or whatever. I think that'd be interesting.
I think that's the perfect time to give him a little low energy run out there. You know what I mean? And just get him out there, see how he handles things, make sure he controls the match against the likes of Livingston, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I mean Livingston's had a decent start. Dude, they won last week. They beat, I forget who they beat. They won, was it Falker? I don't know who they beat, but I think they won like 3-1 in their last match, and so. I don't know. I guess they could give us a game. I doubt. I guess we got to figure out where it's at. Like that would be helpful. It's never easy playing at their place. I feel like on the on the turf, but
yeah, that pitch is terrible. It's like it's the worst AstroTurf that's on the face of the earth. It's all.
And you end up
and that's.
Go ahead, Jay.
Oh no, and I was about to say, isn't that where like CCB got his knock a year and a half ago? I want to say now is playing on that garbage plastic pitch. So you know for a fact, anybody who's got an ankle or a hamstring or anything else like that, they aren't going to see the light of day. They're just, you know what I mean? Just put your feet up, boys. Enjoy the bus trip and go.
Yeah.
No.
But maybe you'll see Dane Murray or JSP, or it'll be an interesting center back pairing this weekend probably. So that's always fun. What was I going to say? I love having Dr. J in the comments. We're going to have Dr. J on next week, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
So I guess looking forward to next week. They're playing on Tuesday at midday, more like 12:45 kickoff.
12:45, yes,
for us, which is a whole another challenge. That's like the lunch break Celtic match for me. I've done that before a few times for. I think I was talking about it last week a couple times. Those when we played Spartak Moscow, and Sammy had the winner in Moscow, and
3-2.
I remember I was at the Iron Abbey, which is like a kind of secondary, not a real Celtic supporters club, but we had a handful of guys that would get together to watch the match there, and I worked 5 minutes away. So any Champions League match, I was there, whether it was like 3:00 but when those noon kickoffs, that was perfect. But I would go back to work and I probably shouldn't have been driving back to work. But they're always fun.
I won't tell. It's just on the internet.
I haven't done that in a while though, so they were my favorite though. We had some good group, like Chris, you would know, like we had Derek and Vinny, guys you would see at the Plow. Like they're all the Bucks County PA crew, and we'd all get together and watch games there. The bartender was like a Celtic fan, so he had the Celtic TV login. It was perfect.
Well, I mean, like I'm jealous that you had a club that you could go to that's like 5 minutes away. Because
we had secondary clubs. I still got
but that's what I mean is like it's a good problem to have. It's like it takes you like an hour to get to the Plow, something like that. So like you can meet up with these other cats for like a noon kickoff some random Tuesday for a Champions League at some pub. That's awesome, man.
It was great.
I'm just jealous you live close enough where like that's a secondary club.
Yeah, that's what you're like a CSC into yourself.
Yeah, like that's. But see, like now, like today, just doing audio only. Like I was already looking at like how much Paramount Plus is. So I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to upgrade to that too if I want to watch Champions League. But whatever.
You would have enjoyed the halftime show on Paramount Plus was the Kairat offside goal from 75 different angles with no audio other than like the crowd noise. I'm like, how
Just
is
time
so many
fill.
different? There's so many cameras. Like it was like the one was an angle of the Kairat crowd, reacting to it. I mean, it was crazy. I'm like, how do you have so many cameras?
Well, see, what's fantastic about doing like the audio only on Celtic TV is that like you still get the same halftime that you get for Celtic TV, just in audio form. So like I got to hear like the classic matches, and then like the interview with Joe Ledley, I think it is, or whatever. So like it was kind of cool, but at the same time, it's like it's so frustrating because like you could only visualize it in your head. So it was a tough day today. So yeah.
Whoever the announcer was on Paramount Plus was, and maybe he's a Hun. I don't know. I don't know who it was, but he was taking a little bit of pleasure, I felt like, in how poorly Celtic showed up today. I don't know. I just picked up on that a little bit.
Again, that was he was just mentioned. He was like, I swear, every 30 seconds, CCV, and I'm like, okay, bro, yeah, I know, we get it. We're just back passing. I get it.
CCV to scales to CCV.
See, like that's like I know Celtic TV gets a bad rap, but like that's one thing that I at least like about it is that like, yeah, that's my team like audio, right? So Paul Cudahy does fantastic. There's I got no issues. Everything's always great with that. So like if I switched over and I got somebody that was, not as, I don't know, Celtic friendly, I guess is the right word for it or whatever, like making those little snide comments, like that would piss me off just as much. So maybe it's good that I don't have Paramount TV.
Yeah, they get different feeds, like I feel like each week. So I don't know, like sometimes, like last week, Sutton was on, because you'll get some of the league games, and like the Falkirk game was on Paramount Plus. So I think Sutton was doing that one, maybe. But like you'll get some of the guys you recognize. This guy today I've never heard before, and he was kind of an ass. Like I think he thought like Kairat like had the best performance in the history of the game today.
Again, it was effective for what they did. Time wasting from Jump Street. They started to throw hammers immediately, decided that wasn't going to work. So they just wasted time. The rest of it stayed tight for the most part. And we just were never able to break them down. It's like, well, here we are. So they got their 0-0.
Yeah, it was frustrating as hell to watch. But it was like one of those, like a lot of those like Celtic games, like you feel like there's a goal coming. Like it's 0-0. I'm like, all right, there's going to be a goal in like the 87th minute. It never, and you never felt like it was going to come. At least I didn't. I'm like,
even with that weird little breakaway we had at the end with the misplayed pass on their part, I was like,
yeah,
he's too tight. I was like, he's too tight to the keeper.
Yeah.
We're never, and maybe it's just cynicism, but I was like, we're never going to score. It's just not.
Yeah. Dyson needed to take another touch there. I think he's on that one. Like, and it probably would have flown out of bounds, but like, I don't think he was ever going to score from that position. I don't know. I still love the guy. He's not had the best start to the season, definitely. But that's a lot of guys in the side.
Scored a goal from the wing on Falkirk. So put him up front where he belongs, and let's pray for wingers.
We need the Belgian guy to get in the door quick. Balakwisha? I don't even know how to pronounce his name.
Balakwisha is the one where it's like he's coming in for medical, but apparently there's something wrong on our end. Like, what are we asking here? Just put a number in front of it. It's like that whole Marco Tilio's gone, except he's not. Now we have to renegotiate.
Yeah.
Cool. Just make it happen. Write a check for Stings. get him out of the way, get $6.5 million, whatever, and just
Right.
get some wingers in, man. Just get some wingers.
I know they kept Tilio because we have no wingers, but since they kept him, has he even been a sub on the bench? I don't know.
No, supposedly he's for the off, and that's fine. I wish him the best of his
Yeah.
endeavors. You know, I mean, good luck.
Yeah,
to
he's
you,
like
sir.
another guy. They're gonna like not make a profit. They'll at least make the money back that they spent on him, and he did absolutely nothing while he was here. Like, so other than paying his wages, that's all we did. Like,
No, he was out on loan though, wasn't he? Yeah.
Tilio,
Yeah.
was he alone?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, he went back to Australia. He went back to Australia for
Yeah.
2 years, 18 months, whatever. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, no matter what, again, I wish him the best. I hope he has a good time. Just don't be here anymore. Go elsewhere.
Don't be here anymore.
I'm not denigrating the guy. Just you know, we were like, hey, we're gonna get Rogic 2.0, and no, but that's okay. That's all right. You know, not everybody's gonna cut it, and sometimes it doesn't happen for us. Maybe it'll happen elsewhere.
That's right.
Baby
That's
Roger.
right.
He's like 5'2" Tilio is. All right. All right. Well,
Size Rogic.
yes, and not nearly as good.
Yeah, and
That too. Yeah, outside of that, yeah.
not the Wizard of Oz.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Come on, Pookie. Oh, I got a Pookie at the end there, and that hurts. But what Pookie never came good for us. It came great elsewhere. Sorry. I didn't mean to steal. I didn't mean to steal your exit, Sean.
It's okay.
I saw Pookie, and my heart broke a little.
I know. I liked him when he was here.
Pookie.
Yeah, he never got his chance.
Pookie.
But all right. Well, it's good chatting with you boys tonight. It's good
Enjoyed
to have this little venting session after that shit show today.
Absolutely.
True.
Yeah, so next week we're going to have Dr. J, who's been prominent in the comments from the Myrtle Beach Ball Deep CSC. One of my first Celtic friends. And then we're going to have Jimmy from Cleveland CSC on too. So
Oh, Lordy.
So we'll be able to go over the game from Tuesday, and hopefully it's a good result. And we're not sitting here, bitching again about the Celtic board not, putting us in the position to get in the Champions League and ended up in the Europa League. But again, I digress. So that being said, it was good having you guys on, and we'll catch up again later.
As always.
All right, boys.
Hail,
Check
hail.
out